One question that comes to my mind is this, right? I mean, as we move through careers in general, and as we, so the first 10 years are all about energy, is what I feel. The next 10 years are all about experiences, newer experiences. But once you cross that 20-year mark, a lot of people, for various reasons that they have seen in their lives, it could be family commitments, it could be taking care of aging parents, it could be mounting debts, it could be various reasons for that matter, struggle to find their feet. And that's what we call as mid-career crisis or midlife crisis as well. Suddenly you also find yourself in a situation where you're not feeling as energetic as possible as you used to be in the past. Um, One question that comes to my mind is, have you also gone through this? And any reflections that you want to share with the audience today, which probably allows them to, review the learnings from that particular episode.
Great question. It gets me to reflect. I have been through that, and it's been one of the most toughest, difficult times that I've ever faced. Those are the times when you ask these questions. Um, who am I? Where do I come from? And where do I go? Normal question that we ask each other, right? Who are you? What's your name is what is notionally asked. And they ask the next question, where are you from? Then they say, where are you going? This is what you ask a stranger. But these are very deep questions. You come to the stage when you ask yourself, okay, what is my life's meaning? And you start to get to those questions because there is something that has happened at work. And you said that there's something which is happening in the primary system. Primary system is your family. The secondary system is your work. So in the secondary system, there is some trigger. There are some triggers which are at home. And you put all these together and you get to a stage where you say, okay, I think there is something which is really happening to me. I've been through a mid-career, I wouldn't say crisis, but yes, there was something that was very different. The year was 2000. In 2000, what really happened was we had the Y2K problem, and then something happened, and there was a downturn. And it was not an ordinary one. The next one that I remember was 2008, but 2000 was not a very easy year. One day I looked at myself and asked myself what I was doing, because the office, we had to let go of people, and that was completely against my grain. I mean, I would find it very difficult to go and tell people who are at the bottom of the pyramid, I think, guys, nice knowing you. We'll meet another day, and then people leave. And I was looking at myself in the mirror one day, and I said, hey, I think if you leave the organization, it can possibly feed 20 people. So I don't know, in a fit of something that in a fit of where you have the blood rushing to your head, I went up to my leader and I said, I'm sorry, I have to leave. And that threw him off completely. And he says, are you sure? I said, I'm absolutely sure. There's a little bit of up and down. I see you want to think about it. I said, yeah, I want to think about it, but went back again with the same answer. Came back. And that's the time I realized that it's not easy to find another job.
Mm.
It took me about 69 days before I found my job. My next job took me a long, long time. Long time, 69 days. There were no jobs. The jobs had to be one of a CHRO. And where am I going to find a CHRO job in a downturn? It was really one of those most difficult moments. I know what my wife did. She was the tower of strength for me. She would always make sure that I was keeping in the right frame of mind. But internally, I did a few things that I spoke about earlier. I mean, I would always have a notebook with me, and I would write down, these are the things that I know about myself. These are the things that are my unknown. These are things that I think I know about myself. And then people would say, no, this is not who you are. And then I would put that aside. And then you start to develop a worldview. The whole thing is about purpose. What's the purpose of my life? Is it to earn another 30 pieces of silver? Is that what my life is about? Then there are very many thoughts. Hey, I think you should be a teacher. I think you should be doing this, you should be doing that. And then you ask yourself, what is your purpose? And I looked at my first 17 years and I said, what is my purpose? And that's the time, Gopal, I actually wrote down on a piece of paper, my life's purpose is to help people discover their own potential. So
Profound.
that's and then when that happened, my life changed because I knew deeper than me, this is not about me trying to find another job. This is about me trying to find a place and a space which would allow me the opportunity of helping people discover their potential. Of course, in those days, I didn't write this out in the way that I'm able to articulate it now, but that was absolutely there. I would never speak about it because people would think that you're blowing your trumpet, or I mean, what is this, man? Why are you saying what you're doing? I found a suitable job. I think it's important to discover the strength within yourself. It takes time, but you will be out of the woods in no time, because there is a certain peace which also descends on you once you know this is who you are. If you're authentic, it makes a big difference. And you get a lot of feedback at that time. It hurts your ego as well. Imagine, I had two growing kids, and they would ask me, Dad, are you not going to work today? And how do I tell him that I'm out of a job? I mean, these are not the nice, cool, the COVID days or the post-COVID days where you say, I'm working from home. And I could not lie.
True.
And I would say to them that, look, I'm in the process of writing a few things. So I'm writing this, I'm writing that. Short of saying that I lost my job, because then they would get very disturbed. I would do everything. But then there was music all around.
Mm.
I'm a hugely optimistic person. I believe in the power of now. I believe in the power of tomorrow. What has happened, jo biti so biti. But I always look at tomorrow. I look at the now because the now matters as much as the tomorrow. So I moved through that very difficult phase. It builds a lot of resilience in you. Then you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about your boss because you're anchored within yourself. You don't have to worry about the company that you're working because you're anchored within yourself. You don't have to worry about anything which is around, and you know what you're chasing. Certainly in my head, I was very clear. I was not chasing money. I was not chasing another title. I said, give me an opportunity where I can do something which will be of some value. And then things started to move. I moved into very good environments. It just so happened that the world opened itself up, and I was able to find a very nice organization to work with. Things started moving, and here I am. Back to you.
Wonderful.